Hello everyone and welcome to another session of Next Savier's Essential Question Series for NEET PG 2025. We already know that this NEET PG 2025 is delayed for some duration of time and we get a fair chance to have a discussion on some more important topics which are likely to be asked in the examination. One of the question which is very commonly asked is a question related to antibiotic resistance, and in particular we'll be talking about the enzymes and the genes which are responsible for producing the carbapenem resistant organisms, along with what is the likely hint which is provided to you in the question in order to reach the final diagnosis. So let us start with the question first. Like a 58-year-old male with a history of uncontrolled diabetes mellitus and a chronic kidney disease is admitted to the ICU with fever, dyspnea, and altered sensorium. He is diagnosed with ventilator associated pneumonia and is started empirically on meropenem and azithromycin. Now, if we stop at this point of time, what are the important points that you are having over here? One is that the patient is lying in the ICU, so this is suggestive of a severe infection. Point number two is that the patient is diabetic along with the chronic kidney disease. It is suggestive that the patient is immunocompromised, where the patient is having a higher chances of hospital acquired organisms like Klebsiella or Acinetobacter. Now, meropenem is a broad spectrum antibiotic which is used for serious infections. Continuing with the question that the blood and the tracheal aspirate cultures, it grows Klebsiella pneumoniae. The organism is found to be resistant to all beta-lactam antibiotics, including piperacillin tazobactam, ceftriaxone, and even meropenem. So, what does this pattern means? It means that the resistant to all usual beta-lactam antibiotics, including the strongest one that is meropenem, but is still sensitive to colistin and tigecycline. It suggests that this bug is actually a very resistant one. So you suspect that this Klebsiella is actually producing a very powerful enzyme which can destroy the carbapenems. And finally, the question is asked in the sense that what is the next best investigation to confirm the underlying resistant mechanisms. So you see, this is how the questions are asked in order to identify the gene which is required for the production of the enzymes which might result in carbapenem resistance in that particular organisms. And this is how the language of the question is usually delivered in the examinations. So we are provided with several of the investigations. Let's break it down one by one. The option number one is modified Hodge test. You already know that this modified Hodge test is actually a phenotypic test which is based on how the bug grows in the presence of the carbapenem. So it was used before molecular testing became common. So it cannot tell you which gene or which enzyme is involved in this resistance. So that is the reason why it is not very reliable. As a result of which, today it was used earlier but is now considered outdated. So this obviously is not the answer for this question. Next is disk diffusion antibiotic sensitivity testing. Now this is what already being done. It told you that the organism is resistant, but it does not explain why. So it is usually a great investigation for the first step, but at this step, it is of no use. Coming on to the fourth option, which is a Vitek-MIC testing. It is an automated system which gives minimal inhibitory concentration of the antibiotics. So it tells you how sensitive or resistant a bug is to many of the drugs. Again, just like the option C, it does not detect the gene. It tells how much of the drug is needed, but why the bug is resistant, it is having not clue. So it doesn't provide any clue. For that, the gold standard investigation for confirming the exact gene responsible for the resistance is PCR for carbapenemase genes. Now it uses the polymerase chain reaction to find out whether the bug has a resistant gene or not. In this case, we are suspecting a gene that helps in producing a carbapenem destroying enzymes, which might include the KPC, the OXA48, the NDM type 1, the VIM, or the IMP gene. As you know, that this is exactly what we are going to talk about, that these genes which are contributing in the carbapenem resistance in the particular organisms, how the questions would be provided for the individual genes. That means how to correlate the clinical pattern of the resistant with different carbapenemase producing bugs, their mechanisms, and how ultimately to detect them. So for that, this is the table which is required for you to understand that if in a question there is a mentioning of that the organism is resistant to all beta lactams and is sensitive only to colistin and tigecycline, then in those cases, the possibility is that the examiner is asking about the gene which is NDM1 gene and how is it being identified by PCR. The likely resistance mechanism is metallo-beta lactamase enzyme. On the other hand, if in a question it is mentioned that the organism is resistant to penicillin, cephalosporins, and carbapenem, but there is some activity retained against aztreonam. In those cases, the likely resistant mechanism is Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase serine beta lactamase enzyme, and the gene involved is the KPC gene. For OXA48 to be the gene involved in the production of carbapenemase, the examiner would provide you the hint in the form of a question that there is a resistance to all beta lactams, but there is retained activity to aztreonam. Similarly, if there is a resistance to imipenem, meropenem, cephalosporin, and colistin and polymyxins are sensitive, then it could be because of the alteration in the VIM and IMP gene. Resistance to vancomycin, but sensitive with T2 linezolid or daptomycin, then VAN A or VAN B genes are affected. And one of the commonest question asked in relation to methicillin resistance Staphylococcus aureus, which is sensitive to clindamycin and vancomycin, it is because of the mechanism that is altered penicillin binding protein, which you already are aware of because of the common gene involvement, which is MECA gene. So these are the genes which are commonly involved in producing the carbamase resistance in the organisms. So what is the step-by-step diagnostic strategy? If you look back to the question, that which drug it is resistant to. Second, is it sensitive to colistin or aztreonam? And the third one, does it fail with carbapenems? The second step is to match it with the mechanism. Like metallo beta lactamases, like NDM1, it hydrolyzes the most beta lactams, but not the aztreonam unless the co-resistance exists. Similarly, the KPC kills almost everything, including the aztreonam. And finally, the OXA48 is unique, where there is mild resistance to carbapenem might be happening, but it is having a strong ESBL synergy. So you have to confirm it with the test, and you just have to go beyond the culture to the molecular level. So PCR is used for the specific gene detection. Carba NP is a rapid test to detect carbapenemase production, and the lateral flow immunoassay can identify specific enzymes like OXA or KPC. If I give you one example, if a patient is having a UTI and the culture shows E. coli, which is resistant to ceftriaxone, meropenem, piperacillin, tazobactam, and it is sensitive only to colistin, then you have to think of MBL, that is metallo-beta lactamases, likely the NDM1 gene affected, and what you have to send is the PCR for the NDM1 gene detection. So once we have understood this, now we can easily understand that how these questions are basically framed. A 60-year-old male with a history of diabetes and recurrent UTI is admitted with a high-grade fever, hypotension, and altered mental status. The blood and urine culture grows Klebsiella pneumoniae, which is sensitive to colistin, tigecycline, as well as aztreonam, but is resistant to ceftriaxone, piperacillin, tazobactam, and meropenem. What is the next best investigation to confirm the mechanism of resistance? By this time, you already know that the answer for this question is PCR for carbapenemase genes. You know, the resistance to all beta lactam, including carbapenems, but sensitivity to aztreonam is strongly suggestive of the production of metallo beta lactamase enzyme, which is due to NDM or VIM genes. PCR allows for direct detection of these genes like NDM1, VIM, or IMP. Carba NP test, this test is good rapid phenotypic test, but it does not tell you which gene is involved. And modified Hodge test, as you already know, is outdated and is not specific. The disk diffusion we have already talked about, that it is at this point of time of no use. It has already been done that what are the drugs to which the organism is resistant and what are the set of drugs the organism is sensitive to. Coming on to the next question. A 45-year-old woman developed sepsis following laparotomy for bowel obstruction. and she had been on prolonged antibiotics in the ICU. The blood culture grows Enterobacter cloacae. The sensitivity profile shows ceftriaxone, piperacillin, tazobactam, aztreonam, imipenem, and meropenem. Now, in this case, as you can see, that aztreonam is also, this organism is also resistant to aztreonam, while it is only sensitive to colistin. The microbiologist is suspecting the production of serine beta lactamase enzyme like KPC. So, what is the most appropriate next step to confirm the resistance? Again, the answer for that question is CARBA-NP test. Why? Because the organism is resistant to aztreonam and even the carbapenems, which rules out the metallo beta lactamase involvement. Now, this pattern is highly suggestive of KPC, which is a serine beta lactamase production enzyme. Now, CARBA-NP is a rapid and reliable biochemical test for carbapenemase activity. PCR can be done later to specify the gene involvement, like KPC, but CARBA-NP is the initial best step to confirm the presence of carbapenemase. Vancomycin and MEK-A are not at all relevant here, while EDTA disc synergy test is used for MLBs and not for the KPCs. And that is the reason why the next best step to confirm the resistance is CARBA-NP test. Coming on to the next case scenario, a 70-year-old male with a history of recent abdominal surgery and prolonged ICU developed fever, leukocytosis, and hypotension. Blood culture grows Klebsiella pneumoniae. The antibiotic sensitivity profile reveals resistance to the piperacillin, tazobactam, ceftriaxone, ertapenem, while sensitivity or immediate sensitivity to meropenem and aztreonam. Now, here in this case, there is a intermediate sensitivity to carbapenems present, and this is again suggestive or is more diagnostic towards the involvement of the OXA48 type carbapenemase, as we have already discussed previously. Now, coming on to the question or continuing with the question, a rapid carbapenemase detection test is positive, but metallo beta lactamase detection is negative. Which of the following is the most likely resistant mechanism in this isolate? As you already know, that resistance to piperacillin and tazobactam along with ceftriaxone, it is suggestive of the broad beta lactam resistance, but ertapenem resistance, but meropenem sensitivity, it is the classical clue for OXA48 gene involvement, which weakly hydrolyzes the meropenem but strongly affects the ertapenem. Aztreonam sensitivity is retained, which again help it differentiating it from the KPC, because in KPC the aztreonam resistance is observed. So, what are the diagnostic clues? The CARBA-NP test is found to be positive, which confirms the carbapenemase activity, but EDTA synergy test is negative, which rules out metallo beta lactamases like NDM, YM, IMP, or VIM. Hence, it is not a metallo enzyme, and you already know that OXA is a class D serine carbapenemase. So the answer for that question obviously is C. Now, why all the others are incorrect? The NDM1 should be EDTA positive and typically meropenem resistant. The option B, Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase, usually resistant to all carbapenems and aztreonam, as we are repeating it again and again. ESBL with porin loss, it doesn't cause strong resistance to carbapenem and would not give positive CARBA-NP test too. So that is the reason why OXA48 carbapenemase is the answer for these kind of the questions. And the strongest hint to reach the diagnosis is intermediate sensitivity to meropenem. While in case of NDM1 as well as in KPC, there is complete resistance to meropenem. Then finally, the kind of the question which has been asked multiple of the times and is likely to be asked in this case also, although it is not directly related to the carbapenem resistance, but a 42-year-old male presents with high-grade fever, swelling, and redness around the surgical wound in the thigh following open reduction internal fixation for the femur fracture 5 days ago. On examination, the wound is erythematous, warm, and draining purulent fluid. Empirical IV cefazolin is started, but the patient remains febrile after 48 hours. Wound swab culture grows Staphylococcus aureus. The preliminary lab notes are that it is catalase positive, gram-positive cocci in the clusters are seen, while there is resistance to oxacillin and cefoxitin on disc diffusion test. What is the next best investigation to confirm the mechanism of the resistance? You already know that post-operative wound infection, Staphylococcus aureus is identified. Resistance to oxacillin and cefoxitin is a classical clue for methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus infection. Now, MRSA is resistance. This resistance is due to MEC2A gene, which codes for the penicillin binding protein 2A, and this altered penicillin binding protein has low affinity for all beta lactam antibiotics, thereby making them ineffective. So, what is the investigation to confirm the mechanism? The gold standard is obviously the PCR for MECA gene, which gives you a direct genetic confirmation of the resistance. This latex agglutination for PPB, for penicillin binding protein 2A, is also acceptable and quicker, but PCR is more definitive, especially for the purpose of research or surveillance. For other options, the VAN-A gene is for the Enterococcus infection, not the Staphylococcus infection. EDTA with disc synergy, we have already talked about. It is for the detection of the metallo-beta lactamases, and the latex agglutination test can detect the penicillin binding protein but not the underlying gene. And that is the reason why PCR for MEC-A gene is the best investigation to confirm the mechanism for the resistance. So whenever Staphylococcus aureus is resistant to cefoxitin, always think on MRSA and confirm with MEC-A gene detection via PCR. I hope you have understood that how the questions are likely to be asked in your examination. All the best for your exams. In order not to miss any update, please join our Telegram group. The link is provided to you in the description. Thank you. So all the best for your future examination. Please join our Telegram group. The link is provided to you in the description. All the best.